Good morning, friends. Welcome to Morning Meditations with Josh and friends. I'm sitting here on my front porch this morning, drinking my coffee and just looking around at the beautiful life and thinking about how grateful I am to be alive and um, just have the life I have, the best life, I think. And I'm listening to something by a guy named Alan Watts, is a philosopher. He was sort of the the quiet spokesman of the beatnik generation in the '60s. Brilliant guy, but he's talking about identity, and he said something that really caught my attention. He said, "Who you think you are is largely dependent on who you've been told you are." And it made me think about the construction of our identity and how true that saying is, and you see it in so many different ways. For example, I see it in sort of the way that people hold themselves and the way that they associate their identity with different things. Like I know some people who um, are really moralistic, and their morals and things come from their family values and their religious upbringing and sort of this tradition that's been handed down to them, along with expectations of maybe um, their professional life. They're a doctor because their parents expected them to be a doctor. They're a lawyer because their parents expected them to be a lawyer. And they do this and they do that and they don't do this and they don't do that because it's just not what they do, because it's inconsistent with their family values. And there's nothing wrong with that, certainly nothing wrong with that at all. But the question this morning is, who are you? And that's deep, and it requires some time and some thinking for sure. But it's easy for some maybe to say, well, I am Josh Hamra, and I'm a minister, and I'm a retired Marine, and I'm a husband and a father and a friend and a brother and um, a student. We say all these things that sort of make up our identity, but when you start to peel them back, it you start to see how you've associated these pieces of your identity with maybe other people and what those people have told you. Like Alan Watts says, who you think you are is largely dependent on who you've been told you are. So if you come from a place of positive reinforcement and encouragement and love, all of these things exist in God, then the chances of you being a you know positive, loving, encouraging person are a lot greater than somebody who's come from a place of deconstruction and negativity. There's parents who shouldn't really be parents if we're getting down to just speaking plainly. They don't really know how to love, they don't really know how to raise children. And so children grow up in these broken homes and broken environments, and they're being just chastised and degraded, and they're not being built up or loved or encouraged. And so they begin to view themselves as less than, stupid, unable. They're never going to amount to anything. Maybe they're abused physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually. So there's all these things that shape a person's identity, and it starts the day we're born, the environments that we're born into. Actually, there's something called epigenetics, which would suggest that the shaping of our identity starts even before we're born, as we're being constructed in our mother's womb. But that's a different topic. So anyway, I just want to sort of let you take that and run with it. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you? Who you think you are is largely dependent on who you've been told you are. Who have you been told that you are? And is there any truth to what people have told you? Are you who people have told you you are? Are you someone else? Have you been trying to live into the expectation of others and who they think you are? Have people been totally wrong about you? It's an interesting question. So I leave you with that today, against the backdrop of the great I Am, God, who lives in each of us and is at our center, the very foundation of our true identity. So, happy thoughts, friends. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.